Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which is going to be one of these vlogs, one of these days where I had a talk all planned, but something happened during the day being Tuesday, July 28th. You're seeing this the next day, but something that caused me to change course at the last minute. The event is, or was, the hearing today before the House Judiciary Committee. Attorney General Barr testified, and well, the hearing was very long. There is so much about that hearing that I could talk about that all I can really do is I'm putting a link to the C-SPAN video of the hearing. It lasted morning, afternoon. I put a link. I encourage everybody to watch it, or at least to watch the opening statements of first the chairman, Gerald Nadler, and then after him, Jim Jordan, the ranking member. That'll give you an idea of the tone. I'm going to try to summarize it. But first, just a little preface. I have never been more disgusted than I am today from what I saw today. And I'm talking about Democrats. If you are a Democrat, you should really be ashamed of the way those Democrats, all of them, every Democrat on that committee, conducted themselves, the way they behaved. And if you're not a very partisan Democrat, or even if you are a partisan Democrat, well, if you are not a very partisan Democrat, then I think you would be as appalled as any Republican. If you are a very partisan Democrat, maybe not, maybe you would even be cheering, but I would like to think, I would hope that at least some of you were just disgusted by the unfairness of it. A brief summary is the Democrats just hurling accusations. I mean, it's supposed to be a hearing, right? A hearing means that you are there to hear, that you call in a witness, you ask them questions, and then you have the person being interviewed, the person testifying, answer, reply. You are there to hear what they have to say. That's why it is called a hearing. But that is not what happened today. Each Democrat, everybody had 5 minutes to ask questions, but all the Democrats did was take up their whole 5 minutes, using about, I would say, 4.5 minutes of their 5 minutes, just hurling accusations, and I mean really serious accusations, calling Barr, well, accusing him of racism, of violating the Constitution, of wanting people to die from coronavirus, of violating his oath as Attorney General. I could go on and on. I could give you example after example, but as I said, there are so many of them. They would take 4.5 minutes, I would roughly estimate, hurling these accusations and not giving, I would say it's generous. They were being generous when they gave Attorney General Barr just 30 seconds to respond. And I'm not talking about a block of 30 seconds. I'm talking about just 30 seconds out of the whole 5 minutes, because you would have these Democratic representatives, they would say accuse Barr of being a racist or just make some kind of charge. They would spend 2.5 minutes leveling this charge and then say, yes or no question, Attorney General Barr, and it's not a yes or no question. He would start to answer, they would immediately cut him off. And even if it was not a yes or no question, they would ask him, I would like you to respond to, and he would start to talk. He would get maybe 3 words. I am being actually literal. I am not exaggerating. Get out maybe 3-4 words, not a whole sentence, maybe half a sentence before being interrupted.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
My time is limited. I have the time.
So what
Reclaiming my time.
I'm answering your question.
Well, you gotta let him answer.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, sir.
reclaiming my time, and I know you don't want to answer.
I'm not saying that.
I reclaim my time.
Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney General. Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Barr.
Okay, reclaiming my time. Excuse me, the time is mine.
I'm starting to lose my temper. Excuse me,
protesters in
Mr.
the
Barr, this
federal
is my
government.
time, and I control it.
I may
Inhabitants.
reclaim my time, sir.
Vote
I
by
think in
mail.
another
I'm
one I voted
reclaiming
by
my
mail.
time. Okay, reclaiming my time.
publication.
Reclaiming my time, sir.
I will
Quibbling
get to
over-
that. Reclaiming my time. You answered the question.
That's what-
Mr. Attorney
I
General,
think
reclaiming
that's
my
what I
time.
was talking about.
Reclaiming my time.
We've waited a long time for you to come here. The time is mine. The time is mine.
Substances.
Mr. Attorney General, reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, sir.
Without a rule,
reclaim
I think
my
DHS
time.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect for a member of Congress.
It was so bad that when it would be time for a Republican representative to ask a question, there were times when the representative, the Republican representative, would have to give up some of his time and say, Attorney General Barr, would you like to respond to what this previous Democratic representative asked or said, or the accusation that representative made? And to show you how, well, as I said, you listen to those two opening statements, the two chairmen, and you'll see that Nadler's opening statement, it's all emotion and accusation. There was even one point where in his opening statement, Nadler said that Barr would not be able to hide behind legal fictions today, the day of the hearing. And Barr said, what is a legal fiction? Could you tell me what it is? What is this legal fiction that you are saying that I cannot hide behind? It was either, well, actually it was an interaction between Barr and one of the Republican representatives. And the Republican representative said, you are being accused, or you are being warned by the chairman that you were warned in the opening statement that you could not hide behind a legal fiction. Could you tell me what it is? And Barr says, I have no idea. And the representative said, I had no idea. But that was basically everything that the Democrats said and did. They even, one representative even to, well, it was interesting, he wanted to show, well, Jim Jordan in his opening statement, the ranking member, he responded to this concept. He showed a number of Democrats on tape saying that these demonstrations, these riots, they were peaceful, over and over, peaceful, 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 peaceful. A number of people repeatedly saying peaceful, 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 peaceful. Then he showed what we've all seen, all these photos and videos of rioting, of burning cars, of throwing projectiles at police, of trying to break into, knock down a fence, get into a federal courthouse over and over and over. To refute that, and this was the only part that really disappointed me on the part of the Republicans, Representative said, well, this is not the whole story, here's what you left out, and showed a few videos of peaceful demonstrators. But the part that disappointed me was that the accusation was made that the force that the police and federal officers were using, that they were using them against peaceful protesters. So Jordan showed all these scenes of rioting and the police trying to put down the riot, trying to respond. And now the Democratic representative later showed these large peaceful crowds to refute the idea that there were no peaceful demonstrators. But what you could see or not see in the videos of the peaceful demonstrators, and I am disappointed that nobody brought this up to ask Barr, do you see any police attacking these peaceful demonstrators? Which is the point that Barr made whenever he could get a word in edgewise, whenever he could say more than 2 or 3 words, or when he was being questioned by a Republican representative, so he would have a little time to talk. And he was saying over and over that we did not attack peaceful protesters. We attacked rioters. And he also said that the federal officials, all they did was protect federal property. It was up to the state authorities to handle the rioters who were not attacking federal buildings, who were attacking state property or city property. And there was well, actually, I can think of another disappointment, because there was one, I think it was Jayapal, there was one Democratic representative who accused, well, the examples that she used, she wanted to accuse Barr of being biased in favor of people who are demonstrators who supported Trump and those who didn't. So he mentioned federal authorities, Trump having federal authorities, or the Justice Department, or William Barr, whoever the appropriate officer was, using force against people attacking the federal courthouse in Portland, Oregon, to take one example. Then she talked about demonstrators in the state capitol in Michigan demonstrating and even in some cases threatening the governor, Governor Whitmer of Michigan. The obvious distinction was she was trying to say that he was being biased or he was being racist, that he was attacking Black Lives Matter demonstrators, who are mostly white, by the way, and these white male or just white demonstrators in Michigan. The obvious distinction is that the Black Lives Matter and Antifa people in Portland, Oregon, they were attacking a federal building where it was authorized for federal officers to use force to protect that federal building. In the case of Michigan, you were talking about a state capitol. You're talking about a state building. Barr had no authority there. That was the obvious distinction. I was just disappointed that nobody made that distinction. But I can only say, just watch. Just turn it on, watch. I'm providing the link. But it was just really, I just have to say again, it was just disgusting that they dragged Bill Barr over there to make him answer questions, to make him answer the tough questions, and then they would not let him answer. It is just really tragic. It just makes me really concerned if, well, it'll be bad enough if the Democrats still have the House, but if they take the Senate, if Trump is not reelected, you would see going forward what I saw today and what I would like all of you to see. By again, I urge you, go watch the hearing. It's a long hearing. I don't expect you to watch the whole thing, but if you're like me, you may start watching it and find yourself watching the whole thing. It was especially bad at the end when, I guess because there are more Democrats than Republicans, Barr was, I want to say questioned, but really the accurate term is was badgered by 4 or 5 Democratic representatives in a row with no Republicans to interject and ask their questions, and more important, allow Barr to respond. There were numerous points of order and other raising of hand for question by Jim Jordan, the ranking member, to say, please, why is he here? Why will you not let him respond to the questions? To me, the answer is obvious. They would not let him respond because they knew what the answers would be, and they would not like the answers because they would refute, they would disprove their narrative, the Democratic narrative. I'm just going to leave it there for today. As you can see, I'm a little bit worked up over this, but I would hope that some of you would be too. Actually, I would hope that all of you would be, Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative, if you see what I saw today. And what can I say except thanks for stopping by again. Thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? You can put them in the comment section below the video, as well as questions, suggestions for future topics. And unlike the Democrats, you can take all the space that you need to say what you have to say. And when you're done doing all that, I would love for you to subscribe, but most of all, come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.